Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, more car stuff. There's more stuff, different stuff coming, but today is car stuff. I want to get this car exterior wise ready to ship off to the body shop. So today is going to be installing a spoiler. I'm also installing mirrors, but I'm not really going to make a video because it's pretty straightforward. 3 bolts and plug. So this one's a little more difficult because this car has never had a spoiler. She is a spoiler virgin. So it's just a stock spoiler. So this is the spoiler. Okay, it's the 2 pedestal. It's the one that kind of wraps this way and wraps this way. It's a nice spoiler. I got it off eBay. So if anyone needs any links for that, I can link that in the corner. Problem with eBay spoilers is they don't give you anything as far as where to put it. Now, with me, I like the look of it hanging off the car a little bit. So that end of the spoiler hangs 2 inches off the deck lid. I like that look. So you have to play with it a little bit. So what they tell you to do, you have to see these 3 strips. They tell you there's sticky tape. You put it over the hole of the screw, sticking out so these ends can be taped once the spoiler is where you desire. So that's what I did. I put it on here, I messed around with measurements, I messed around with where I like it, I look, and then just tape it down and you slowly peel it off, both sides, off it goes. So then you have these holes, these holes are where your holes located on the spoiler. There's 3 per side, plus you have your electrical hole, because this one does have a 3rd brake light. So I'm just going to drill holes, make them the correct size, and the fun part is going to be, because I only have me, is installing this spoiler. Now the only good thing about installing the spoiler on this car is the fact that it's going to get repainted. So if I scratch it a little bit, no big deal. So it's not difficult, it's a lot of it's where you want it, where you think it looks good. So that's what I did. I kind of played with it for about an hour. Different combinations, you know, a little bit this way, a little bit forward. I just wanted to see what looked good to me. It might not be necessarily stock location, but according to these holes and the measurements I got off the forums, it's pretty damn close. I think it's within 1/4 inch, so I'm good with that. It might stick out a little bit, but I'm good with 2-inch lip there. So I'm gonna get going on drilling this hole. We'll drill these holes. I'll show you what's going on, and we'll go from there. All right, so here's the holes. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there's the 3 holes, 3 per side. Now, the actual first thing you should do is get this cover off. So this cover, which is for the deck lid cover, take that off. Now, you notice the holes pretty much line up to where the stock holes are. Yeah, it's pretty nifty. Oh, I can't see the 3rd one. Where is it? Right there. There's the 3rd one. So for this installation, I had to, because there's no studs, there's the 3rd light. That's going to be eliminated. And here's the plug for the 3rd light. So I am going to probably cut this off, solder them together, and we're good to go. So the next thing I have to do is run my wire, which will go through this port right here. I don't know if you can see that. Right there, yeah. So it's going to go run through this port. That's where the wire is going to go, and I'm going to zip tie it to this loom, which is the license plate light. So far it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I'm glad that I have the stock location, so I know I'm pretty good. But I had to open this hole up because this screw head didn't go through the stock hole, so I had to open those up. Now they're good, they're open. Important note, deburr everything, so when you have assembly you don't have any issues, and it might be a good idea after it's assembled to take some black paint and just kind of black paint all the stuff that was opened. This will have a gasket on it, There is a gasket that comes with this. Here is said gasket. Spoiler sits on this, sort of a water thing. And on top of that, I'm going to end up siliconing the inside of these holes. So these holes on the inside are going to get siliconed. So these weren't a big deal. Easiest way to do it is to, once you have where you want it with the strips on, you take an old tap, a starter tap, which has got a little point on it, and you put it in the center of the hole and you give it a bang. And it gives you a center point, so that way your drill doesn't wander all over the place and cause even more damage. Just a little helpful little tip. So now I'm going to lay out where I'm going to have my electrical and drill that hole. And okay, so now the spoiler has the little pads on it. So this is what the little pads look like. Little foam pads, little two-way tape. You stick it on, then you gotta locate your screw holes. Otherwise, it's just a pain in the butt. So both of them are on. This one's got the wire through it for the third brake light, which is right there. So there's that. And then I had the other hole for. Give me a second. So there is my hole for the electrical, which is right there. And I was kind of wrong. It doesn't come through here. It comes like up there. So it gets fed down and then it gets hooked on the lumen. Whatever. So that's where that's going to go. Now I'm going to give you some time lapse of me trying to put the spoiler on. Okay, so ran into a couple little issues, nothing huge. So this is the screw. Actually, let's do it this way. These are the screws that they give you. Phillips head, which I'm not a big fan of, and they're only about 1/2 inch. So let's do it like this. They're only about 1/2 inch. So my suggestion to all this would be to get a Robbie head and at least 3/4 inch. A little bit more meat. I found that as soon as I get into the spoiler, it would bite and then that was it. So I wanted a couple turns in there. That way I don't get no fly-offs. So that's one of the beefs. No, that's about the only beef I have with that. So if you're gonna get the eBay one, prepare to do a little bit of finagling. Get these screws instead of the other ones, or use the other ones. So it works, it's on. It wasn't as hard as I thought to put it on. I put one side on, and because I'm painting the car, it wasn't a big deal if I scratched a little bit. So maybe that was the difference. So I'll give you a shot of what it looks like. So this is what it looks like on the side. It's got the light in it. Looks pretty good. Okay. I have footage of it actually work. So there's a plug that comes off of these two wires right here. And that runs your third brake light. So all I did was just cut off the plug and I soldered them. So all soldered, I'm gonna have to do is tape them up, and I have them running a little bit like that around my shock for that, up the loom, and it's all zip tied to the loom. And then you get to the hole, and what I would suggest would be taking a bunch of tape and covering it up so that way this bare metal doesn't screw up your. So this is what it looks like. Now mind you, the rest of the car is dusty except for the back end of me leaning on it. So this is what the car looks like with the spoiler. And this is just a stock spoiler. I just love the look. And not too many of the Genesis have this little spoiler. It's not gaudy and ugly, and I think it's subtle. It's nice. I like it a lot. So I'm glad So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, how to install it. They give you these instructions, but they're pretty universal. So, and they give you these things. They're for you stick your wire on either side, and then you have the connection. Just I don't like those either. You're driving down the road, bumpy roads and stuff like that. What's going to happen? They're going to come loose. So I just ended up just soldering them. They're never going to come loose like that. I'm glad I did it because I love that look. It was just the hardware. The hardware is the biggest pain in the oh, and there was no template. So these do not come with a template. So there are holes in the back of the Genesis in the duct lid for where the stock spoiler does go. So if you want to use it that way, you can do it that way too, but neither here nor there. It ended up working out. It was in the stock location for the most part. I hit all the holes, so no big deal. That's it. So if anyone likes this video, leave a comment. Want to subscribe. Want to get a bell icon. There's the bells here. Wait, I think it's over here. I don't know. Somewhere. There's more stuff coming. I have more Genesis stuff. I have boatload of editing to do for the stairs. There's a couple other things coming on. So it's just time again, so I apologize if this is not fast enough, but I'm doing what I can. I figured I'd have a shop day in the garage. Oh, I have mirrors on now. So let's check these suckers out. They're stock mirrors, but they have the signal in them. They're not heated. I don't really care about heated. I'm not going to drive the car in the winter. They just need to get shot, need to get painted, so they're on. It's all good. That's all I got for you guys. So, guys, any comments, let me know. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.